So this will be an unboxing and kind of setup slash review of the Twinstar S Series light. I kind of got ahead of myself and it's already been unboxed and installed and I didn't get to get footage of that, but I will explain to you guys everything I did so you guys actually know instead of just showing it because I know personally, me watching people, sometimes they don't explain stuff or show certain things and it gets confusing, so I'll make sure I show basically everything you'll need to know just because I didn't record it and that's my fault. But so obviously you guys know new setup, new series. So if you want to subscribe and stick for that, this tank's gonna be really cool for the next coming year, and then we got a couple more that's gonna come eventually. So we're gonna have a lot of new fun stuff coming. But I guess we start off. If anybody cares, this is the box it'll come in. If you get I think they're all the same. It's just it'll say there'll be different lettering over here depending on which series you get. This is obviously the S series. I got the pendant version, which means it hangs. You can see it already right here installed. This is a 900, so it's a 3 foot version. It's not exactly 3 foot, and that's one thing about the other versions. I think they have like the 2 foot, 3 foot, and then the 4 foot. I think that's the biggest they go, and they're not exact. Like this right here, the 900. I think it's like 30. I think it's like 34 inches, so it's not like exactly 36, which is nice because you don't got light glaring past the tank. As long as you center it right, the light will be in the tank. But so the box accessory wise, if you get the pendant, obviously you're gonna get the wires to hook them up, the power cord obviously, and I think that was about it. So if you don't get the pendant, you just get the power cord, the light, and then the legs. If you just do a regular leg version, there's different kinds. There's metal, glass, whatever you go with. But so the pendant. So if you're watching this, you're probably watching it because of the pendant, and there's not a lot of videos on installation. I don't think there is any videos of people explaining how to install it. So I'm gonna show you guys that right now. So they come with these wires. They give you plenty of wire. I mean, unless you're hanging it 20 feet down, I think they gave you almost like 10 feet of wire on each end. So they give you quite a bit. And so what I did is, obviously you're gonna figure your length. That's all explainable. But some people might ask how to actually hook it up to the ceiling. And the best way that I can think of is what I use is eye hooks. And obviously, if you're doing from ceiling, you're gonna have to find your joist, and you can do that with a stud finder, or I mean, if you know where your joists are, you can go with that. But I had to go to end joist, so I'm just right on the edge of each joist, so it kind of worked out for me. So it made the wires nice and square. And yeah, you just want to make sure you're going right into the joist because this light is pretty heavy. It's all aluminum, so it does got some weight to it. So you definitely, I mean, I'm sure you could probably buy drywall anchors and that would work fine too, but that's kind of your decision, whatever you think will work. But just know that this light does have some weight to it, so make sure you do secure it pretty good. So I just had some eye hooks and it worked fine. Honestly, let's see if I can zoom in here. So I just got, there's a bunch of leftover wire wrapped around. That's just because I'm still kind of adjusting this right now. I kind of put it at the max height and I'm gonna like slowly lower it if I need to, depending on the plants and all that. Right now it's about 18 inches above the tank, which normally if you're having a super high light like this, they say 20, 24 inches. That it does seem like a lot to me right now, but I haven't done with a lot of these highlights, so I'm not sure that it seems really high, but it might be plenty as it sits right now, so who knows. But if I need to, that's why I give myself extra slack, which I recommend. I cut off about half of it, so there wasn't too much. I just left, at least 16 inches more, or you can almost lower it to the into the top of the tank if you needed to. Which you're obviously with this light you wouldn't need to. It's way too high in light anyways. But power wise, if you're having it up this high, I think I don't have a power reader to make sure, but what I was reading from other people that have this light too, if you have it at 15 inches from the tank, obviously depending on the substrate level and all that, but it says you're getting about 120 power, which is really good. That's that's a lot of par for, that's going to be an algae mess if you don't do a lot of maintenance. So that's something risk wise, if you're going with a highlight like this, to make sure you are doing your maintenance, a lot of maintenance. Me personally, I do 250% a week, and but if you're running CO2 and all that, and you can keep it all balanced, it shouldn't even be a problem. But just, before, if you're beginner or you're just now doing plant tanks, just know if you do buy this light, it's extremely bright of light, so it's gonna cause algae real fast if you don't keep up on your maintenance. But so I guess I showed you guys that. One thing confusing I've seen people get confused about is, so the wire, there'll be a little like metal end. It might be too bright to even see that, but you guys know if I talk about, if you have this light, there's a little metal stopper at the end, and it'll go right in here. That's what holds up the light. So you'll stick the wire all the way through, and then that little nub will just sit right in that hole right there, and that's what, obviously that's what picks that light up. That was one thing I got kind of confused about. I didn't know what some of this stuff was at first. And then I don't know if you were going to be able to see it, but the other part that it comes with is that little, see if it focuses, see that little square rectangle metal piece. That'll help loop the light or loop the wire so you can get it around a wire hook if you do like I did. But there's other ways to hook it. You can kind of do your own research if you want to, but there's other ways to put wires through ceiling. There's more professional ways. There's a lot cleaner looks if you want to go for that, but you can kind of do it however you want. But me personally, if you want to go with a pretty cheap option, go with some eye hooks, and it looks pretty good. You can see for yourself. You'll just have once those wires get cut away, all you'll have is just a little, little bit of hanging out, but it doesn't look bad at all. As long as you can keep it all straight, it looks all professional. But, and then obviously you can kind of swing your wire whichever way. I just put it over here. Eventually it might go behind the tank. Well, it more than likely will go behind the tank, but I have it going to the side because I have holes drilled with grommets on the side, so I just kind of put it through there for now. It might eventually go to the back, but so yeah, I mean, so far this light, I mean, I'll do a review eventually down the road, but this light is top notch. I mean, it's expensive, and then you might wonder, it doesn't have the features like some of these other lights have, like, timers and built-in timers, or you can do it from your phone. This light doesn't have all that fancy features, which is nice if you're simple and you just want something, but it's still expensive, and that's why some people kind of question. But it's an amazing light. It just doesn't come with, the fancy features that you'd normally see. But if you're like me and you don't really care about that much about features like that, then this light is the go-to. Obviously, if you want those features, you're gonna have to pay a little bit more for, another light like the O and F lights, the flat ones. Those obviously are like the same. They're really the same. They put out the same outputs of these Twinstars. They just have more technology in them. They have the built-in timers. You can connect with your phone from anywhere. Obviously, all that. But this is basically just like as plain as light gets. You plug it in and it comes on. There's dimmers that they sell. I think they're like $10 that you can connect to the cord, and it is just a minus or plus button, and you can dim them down if you need to. I might actually buy that for myself. It'd be nice to have just in case if I do need to dial down the light a little bit instead of having, to adjust the light. That's kind of a pain. Or I can just push a button, so that I'll probably do that myself. But other than that, I don't want to make this too long, but if you have questions on this light, definitely let me know in the comments. I'll answer anything you want. And definitely follow me on Instagram and all my social medias through JJ Aquariums. And I can send you pictures, show you videos, personal videos if you want to, more information on how I did this stuff. I can definitely help some of you guys out if you're needing the help on your setting up your light. But yeah, that's about it. Like I said, subscribe. I'm about to scape this tank. It's about to be really cool. It's going to be super cool. It's going to look amazing. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one.